We're going to draw a cool cowboy scene with a cowboy hat in a barn. And in the process, we'll learn how to draw wood, a hat, rope, and a hay bale. We'll start off with an 8B pencil and plot out where the slats in the wooden wall meet. To create the wood texture, use a rough and random zigzagging motion. Notice how I create all sorts of rough textures and tonal values over the surface of each wooden plank. I'm also keeping the top edge of the wood light and the bottom edge dark, and this ensures that I don't lose that separation between the planks. Here and there I'll also add an extra dark line inside the plank to indicate that there's a crack in the wood. As you draw, be careful not to draw into the hat area, and also be careful not to outline the hat area. Your lines must go past and behind the hat and not around it. For the hat, I'm going to continue drawing with the 8B pencil, and then as I draw, I'm going to vary the pressure I apply to the pencil in order to go lighter and darker. If you're new to drawing, I suggest that you also use softer and harder pencils to ensure you get the correct tonal values in the correct places on the hat. So the hat is basically just a series of continuous shadings. So I'll start with the darkest areas and then shade lighter in the correct directions. And as you do this, keep the direction of the light in mind. The more an area on the hat points towards the light, the lighter it becomes. You can see this happening nicely on the rim of the hat. The rope around the hat casts a shadow, so work that in as well. To draw the rope, just suggest the dark lines between the weave of the rope and then create a wavy edge on the outside to show that outside contour of the rope. So no detail drawing there at all. For the eyelet in the hat, make the inside hole really super dark. The edge of the eyelet nice and light by erasing out all the pencil lines, and then make that eyelet cast a little bit of a shadow. Let's move on to the straw. Don't panic here, it looks terribly complicated, but it's actually not. You'll start by laying down a basic shading, and then you lift out the straw using a pen-shaped eraser. So use the photo as a reference to get the general directions of the straw correct, but don't try to draw it exact. All you're trying to do is create the impression of the straw. At this stage, you've got your straw effect in place. All you need to do now is add in the shadows between the straw to make them really stand out. So with a dark pencil, with a sharp point, add in those little shadows in between each sliver of straw. This step does take a while, so be patient while doing it. But I think you'll agree though that these shadows bring this whole effect to life quite nicely. Drawing the rope also looks like a difficult job, but if you follow my technique, it'll be easy as. You're going to draw one loop of rope at a time. Start by adding a mid-tone shading to that loop of rope. Then lift out the highlight using your pen-shaped eraser. What's critical here with this highlight is that you get the S shapes formed by the weave in the rope correct. You'll see that these S shapes change direction as the rope curls around. Then use a dark pencil to add the shadow S shapes between each highlight. Lastly, make the rope look round by adding a shadow shading to one edge of the rope going over everything you've drawn up to this point. Also look out for and draw in the shadows cast by the one loop of rope onto the next, as those shadows make the one loop stand up above the previous loop. Now draw in the straw in the center of the loops in the same way as before. Just look out for the shadow cast by the hat onto the straw and the rope when drawing this area, as that lifts up the hat. To really make the rope stand out from the background, make the gaps between the rope as dark as you can get it. I then finish off my drawing with a touch of fine tuning here and there. And with that, we've got ourselves an awesome little cowboy scene. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you have, please like the video and leave me a comment below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials.